Well, it's time to talk NFL now. And we're going to reflect on the big Thursday night game, look at some of the fixtures and some of the stories around the NFL with the former NFL star Jason Bell. Jason, good to see you.
Good to see y'all, too. I love it here.
Yeah, good to see you. We've got Dallas versus New York last night. It was the Cowboys versus the Giants, and it was a tight game, 2015 to the Cowboys. Good match?
It was a good match. It's always a battle with those two teams. They don't like each other. Same division, so they're always going toe-to-toe. But Dak Prescott really stepped up, made some good throws. That was key. You saw some really big injuries, though. Malik Neighbors, the receiver from the New York Giants, went down. And, yeah, you had Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys go down. You hate to see that. But overall, good game, competitive. That's what we like.
I enjoyed some of the stuff from last weekend. Saquon Barkley. I mean, what a player is that?
Tell us a bit more about him, Andy. Who's he play for?
He's, hold on, I've got to look at that. He's the
Philadelphia.
Eagles, isn't he?
Eagles,
yeah.
Former New York Giant.
Right.
Yeah, he's amazing. Before the season, I thought he could be up for Offensive Player of the Year, just because with that offensive line of the Eagles, you knew he was going to be dynamic. He is so fast and fluid. He just needed an opportunity to run behind a line that would make sure he could get some yards before contact, and that's what's happened. I mean, the guy is so dynamic.
And, they went to the Saints, didn't they? They beat them. That was a good victory.
Yeah, it was a good game, especially we talked about that Saints offense. They were supposed to be high-flying, and the Eagles' defense was struggling, but they stepped up. Their defensive line really took over.
So what are the standout games this weekend, Jason, would you say?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Vikings game, right? The Vikings got a huge game this week, and it's a matchup versus the Packers, which they're in the same division, right? And these two teams are fighting for the reign in that division. And when you look at it, man, the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold, their quarterback, he's thrown 8 touchdowns. They've come out of nowhere. That defense is high-flying. We get to see them in London next week, so I'm excited for that. But that's going to be a really big game. And then the Bills versus the Ravens. I mean, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, are you kidding me? Josh Allen's playing like an MVP right now, so can't wait for that one on Sunday night.
You do get some amazing upsets in the NFL. I mean, Denver going to the Tampa and winning, and they were 0-2, and Tampa were 2-0, but they won the game. It was a surprise.
You never know week to week what's going to happen, and all it takes is a few mistakes. And you saw Denver with their rookie quarterback, Sean Payton, their head coach, get a good game plan, and they took advantage of the Buccaneers, which I thought the Bucs would win that game, but you never know in the NFL.
Well, the guys on the NFL Rundown, it's live now on talkSPORT End Zone YouTube channel, and they were discussing how the reigning Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs are still unbeaten despite the struggles of, you guessed it, Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Do we give them enough credit for winning despite not playing well?
I will give them credit for winning and being 3-0 and still being undefeated while Travis Kelce has 69 yards. I mean, the fact that Travis Kelce only has 69 receiving yards and this team is still winning. Now, Patrick Mahomes is saying that he's being double-teamed and triple-teamed, but the old Travis Kelce that I know, the pre-Taylor Swift Travis Kelce, he finds a way to impact games. He's not doing anything for this team right now offensively.
Has his eye off the ball, you think, I wonder why.
Well, they got a guy. He is focused on a lot of good things in life right now for him. But there's a guy named Rashid Rice, who's the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, who has stepped up. He is the #1 receiver in that offense, so he's getting a lot of targets. But the thing about Travis Kelce, nobody should panic. We need him good. I'm a Kansas City Chief. They need him good at the end of the season and in the playoffs. That's the key. There's no panic button. This team is 3-0 because their defense is playing well. They got the best quarterback in the NFL. On offense, they just need to find their way, and they have time to do that.
They go to California, the Chargers, aren't they, this weekend? That's right, on Sunday.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. Chargers can play some good defense, and they're going to play. It's going to be a physical game.
Now, I mentioned off air, someone I've subsequently discovered is a pal of yours. This is a guy called Aidan Durd, and we often talk about British players' chancing their arm in the NFL, but we don't often talk about coaches. But he is a high flyer. I mean, he could somewhere down the road fairly soon be a head coach of an NFL team, which for a guy from Middlesex is pretty impressive.
What an amazing journey. And if you met him and talked to him for 10 minutes, you would just see leadership. You would hear it. The way he can motivate and teach players is the key. His story lets you know that it doesn't matter where you're from. All you need is an opportunity, and that's what he's been given. And every time he's done that, he's taken advantage of that. And coaches, management, everybody believes in him because they continue to elevate him in higher roles. I mean, he's at Seattle. They're undefeated. The defense is playing well, and he is the defensive coordinator. His future is so bright. I'm glad to be his friend, and he has a lot of support out here.
And you said he helped set up the kind of player pathway that has seen people like Louis Rees-Zammit go there.
Yeah, him and Osi Umenyiora helped start that up. And the reason it works is because not only can they find the talent, but they can nurture and teach players that haven't been exposed to the sport. It's who's teaching you. It's who's guiding you. And Adden has been able to do that. And that's why a lot of those players have been able to make it in the NFL.
You know, it was interesting last week. The Panthers played the Raiders, and these teams have the only 2 women presidents in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing that they've got to that position. I imagine it's quite hard for a woman to get that far in an organization.
Yeah, and my friend is the head coach for the Raiders, and he's very close with her, and he speaks so highly about her. And yeah, you've seen that, and they're running their organizations well.
Well, we've got another big weekend of NFL action on talkSPORT. We've got the Broncos at the Jets at 6 p.m. on talkSPORT 2 on Sunday. And then on Monday, the game that Jason says is a real corker, the Bills versus the Ravens. That's 1:20 a.m. for us, early hours of Monday morning. So it's all unfolding. As we said, don't go and check out the NFL YouTube channel. Jason, as always, lovely to see you.
I appreciate it. Keep inviting me back. I will keep coming.
Good man. We'll catch up with you next week. Former Giant and Cowboy there, Jason Bell, looking at the NFL.